All right, guys, I say it over and over again. One of the main keys to your success is having a lot of conversations. The second key to your success is realizing when somebody is just not a potential client. When the story is too complicated, where it's too hard to understand, where it's going to entail a lot of things that you're not going to be able to control very well. There's too many people involved, and it is just too convoluted to work out. And when you talk to those people, even if they're nice, even if they're willing to share every complication and everything that they're going through, you need to decide whether it's worth your time. And even though we are basically programmed to help people as real estate agents, that's what we do. We go around trying to find people that we can help, even though you might have the impulse to want to help that person and you feel like you can solve all their problems, and you feel like maybe if I put in the weeks and months and possibly years that it might take, maybe I can help this person. And even though that's a noble gesture, one of the biggest keys to your success, other than having a lot of conversations, is knowing when to say no. Knowing when to say thank you, but no thank you. This is just too complicated, and you don't actually have to say that to the potential client, but in your mind, alarm bells should be going off. I think of it as green flags and red flags, and if I get 3 or 5 red flags in a row, typically the conversation ends at that point, and I just move on to the next client. Because I've been doing this long enough where I realize if you just move on, if you have confidence in your skills to pick up the phone and move on to the next client, you're going to talk to somebody who's amazing, who knows what they want to do. They know if they want to buy or sell. They have the people around them supporting them. They have their financial ducks in a row. They've either spoken to the lender, or they already have their plan to where they're going to move to, and just everything will fall in line much more easily. This is a tough enough business as it is when you have somebody that is in full alignment, full cooperation, and has full control over what they want and where they're going. It's hard enough to help those people, let alone when you start talking to somebody who is an absolute disaster. Their family is not cooperating, and every time they give you another piece of the puzzle, it just gets more and more complicated. Those are the clients you just want to say thank you, but no thank you. And you can tell them, like I do in this particular situation, hey, let me get back to you once you've sorted some things out and see where we're at, and I'll see if I can help you. And just, personally, I just removed her from my list. I don't think I'm going to be able to unravel her situation or put the puzzle pieces together. So I'm just better off moving on, where my energy is going to go to somebody that I can actually solve their problems, and it's going to turn out to be a win-win conversation. So guys, if you listen to this conversation, you'll see exactly what I mean. And let me know in the comments if you think this person is somebody that I could have actually helped, or let me know when you are just ready to let somebody go and you are just going to move on. Let me know if you agree with that statement, that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your sanity and for your business is just say thank you, but no thank you. I'm going to have to move on and find somebody else that I can actually come to a successful resolution with, whether they're buying or selling a property. So guys, go ahead and listen to this conversation and let me know what you think. Guys, I'm Ken Blumberg with Making Probate Easy. I hope you enjoy this conversation, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello?
How can I help you?
Oh yeah. Oh, hi. It's this is Ken Blumberg. And the reason I was reaching out to you today, I'm kind of playing detective today. So thank you for taking a few minutes with me and playing along with me. But my understanding is that maybe you had inherited a home or going through the process of inheriting. Do I have that? I'm sorry. What's that?
Yeah, my uncle passed, I was living here with him when he passed. I have power of attorney over all his stuff to get taken care of.
Okay, yeah. How are you doing? I mean, that's sounds like that's very nice of you that you were taking care of him. Were you guys very close? It sounds like.
Yeah.
All right. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there, going through a lot of stuff, but I'm doing.
All right. Well, I hope you're getting some support from the family. I mean, my
No, not really.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I kind of know what that's like. Yeah, my mom went into a nursing home about a year ago, and I don't think my brother's called her at all, or gone out and visited her or anything. I mean, he's in New Jersey, so I don't blame him. She's in California, so I don't necessarily blame him for not visiting, but you could call her.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so sorry you're not getting support, but I guess it sounds like maybe your uncle's going to leave the home to you.
Yeah, we were in the process of getting all that done, along with the power of attorney, but the day that we had set for the lawyer to come and finalize everything, he passed.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was going to say, well, sounds very nice that he obviously appreciated what you were doing for him, and that you were close to him and he was close to you. Oh, okay. Yeah. So he passed right before that. So where does that leave you now?
I have been pretty much doing what I promised him I was going to do, was try to take care of everything that he needed taken care of. The house, if possible. I was going to try to get it put in my name, but he owes too much on the house. Yeah, and there's a lot of other things. There's liens and stuff on it from the IRS and all of that. So the person that I was talking to before, he informed me that, pretty much with what's going on and all the liens and me trying to get all that paid off before we could put it in my name, I wouldn't be able to handle all that. It'd be too much money that I do not have.
Right. Well, I guess, and it sounds like you've probably been through this, but it sounds to me like you'd want to figure out what the value of the home is, and then figure out what the equity is, and then, figure out if you did pay all the money to pay off all the loans, is there still money left over that you would make money if you sold the house?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like, I'm just pulling this up on Zillow, but it looks like the home is worth around $540. That might be more or less. I mean, it looks like it's pretty nice as well. Looks like it's got some pretty good upgrades in it. May I ask what do you know what the total is that's owed on the property?
I know for the IRS it's $300,000. That's the lien that's against it that he owes. I know he owes a lot more on taxes, because he was a victim. Not funny, but he was a victim of identity theft and a whole bunch of other stuff, due to his son and the people he hung around with.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
it's a lot.
Too bad. Yeah. So you think it's more than the $540 that the home potentially is worth?
What did you say, my dear?
I'm saying so you think the total is higher than the $540,000 that the home
I do believe so, because he's got, I know he's got that. He's still got the mortgage, and in this area, it's 2 HOAs that he still owes. He had someone else at a whole nother company that he was trying to get the taxes part taken care of, but found out that was a ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
So, he still owes on that. The HOAs, he owes them now. The mortgage was late. He was using his pension and his Social Security to pay for mortgage, but when he passed, since we didn't get a chance to get me put on all his stuff, the pension stopped, so now he still owes. I've been paying what I can, but I don't make thousands of dollars. So, the mortgage and stuff is owed, but like I said, then he's got two, I guess you would call them home improvement loans.
Okay. Do you know?
That owes.
I mean, the IRS. So you said it's $300,000. I mean, do you know what the mortgage is?
I have not looked at the last paper yet. I've been trying to get all the other stuff taken care of. They actually just sent me the last statement through the email for me, so I haven't checked my email yet.
Gotcha. But you think you're just going to let the home go, though? Sounds like.
I was planning on trying to sell it and do whatever else I could with it, but we're going through probate. I went through a probate case. I'm still trying to figure all this out because they somehow gave it to his son, which his son is not a beneficiary on anything. Not to mention his son is a felon. So his son signed some papers with some other, not attorney, real estate agent for $500 in cash and gave her the property.
Oh, to list it?
No, she's gonna as the minister, and she's going to sell it. She's already told me she's going to sell it. So, yeah. So I just don't understand how that is possible if we were already in probate court and the paperwork was already put through, and he signed the paper for us to continue or finish doing what I had already started over here, then for him to sign with her and sign everything over the next day, and the probate court go ahead and approve it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's not the administrator, he should not be able to list it with anybody.
That is what I was saying. So yeah. I'm all confused on that. I'm like, I don't understand. If we're going through probate court, I gave you the power of attorney. I've even given you before we drew up the power of attorney, we had drew up and what do you call the
letters of administration, possibly.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. For all his other accounts, and in there it does state that anything that it needs to be taken care of, house, all that, I am the person to be dealt with. And the same thing within the POA, it even says, even within passing, I am the one that, is to take care of everything until it's done.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe you have a real estate agent out there that doesn't understand probate, possibly, but again, I mean, it sounds like you really should figure out what the mortgage amount is. I mean, obviously, if there's all these loans on the house, I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that you didn't take over, financial liability for this property.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, I said that too. It's just, he made it clear that he didn't want his son to have anything and to fuck off his stuff, excuse my language. And that's pretty much what his son has done. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, it sounds like, again, it's a messy situation. Yeah. I mean, is there any direction that you're considering going in? I mean, do you have a next step kind of planned out?
I'm actually kind of researching, trying to figure out what the probate laws and stuff is, what I could do to fight back and maybe get it back to me to complete, what needs to be done the proper way.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just kind of at a loss because I've never gone through this,
Right.
and I've never had my own mortgage, so I'm just kind of.
Well, it seems to me if your uncle died intestate without a will, then the court is going to name the administrator or co-administrators, but you're saying they have named you, right? Or is that not correct?
Yeah, we were in the probate session. We went to court yesterday for me to go ahead and for it to legally be me, pretty much, since it's just a POA and we didn't get a chance to do the full paperwork for the lawyer while he was alive before he passed. So we had drawn up the papers, I signed it, his son signed it to make me the minister, and then, like I said, the son's a drug addict. Another realtor, a couple days after he signed the paperwork for me that was already going into court, he signed it with another realtor, telling them, pretty much signing for $500 in cash, and giving her, I think it was 50% of everything. So as I said, pretty much he's not going to really get anything out of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got all that stuff paid for. So what I was, the people that I was working with, he still would have got something out of it,
right?
More than 500, but yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe if it's okay if I follow up with you, like I said, I would figure out what the mortgage is and what the liens are on the house, and then from there you could see if there is anything that you can do with the house. Because if there's, IRS of $300,000, a mortgage of $300,000, and liens of whatever, you're going to be way upside down on the property. And
right.
The only option you're probably going to have is to short sell it, or to just continue to pay all what's owed on it until eventually you can sell the property. But that might be a couple of years.
Right. Okay.
So if it's okay, I guess I'll just follow up with you in a couple of weeks and see where you wind up and what's owed on the house.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing with me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, and just finally, so when I call you back, how do I pronounce your name?
Toki.
Okay, Toki. So it's just short, which is I guess the nickname or the abbreviation.
Yeah, it's easier for everybody to say because most people can't say Tokiko.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, and what I have seems even longer than that, but okay, Toki.
Yeah,
perfect.
Tokiko Marcel, yeah.
Okay, all right, Toki. But yeah, thank you for shortening that up for me. Definitely make it a bit easier. So I appreciate you sharing with me, and like I said, I'll follow up with you in a few weeks. So there you have it. I gave it every possible chance that I could. I spent a fair amount of time, probably longer than I should have, asking questions and trying to see if there was any way that this situation could be unraveled successfully. And the more questions I asked, the more complicated it got, and the more confused I got, and the more I realized that this was somebody I just was not going to be able to help. Even though she was very cooperative in the conversation, she was nice to talk to, she was very generous with her time, she was very open with me, and those are all definitely things I look for when I'm determining who I want to work with. The answers that she was giving me were just too confusing, and there were too many conflicting pieces to the puzzle, too many people in her family that were not going to cooperate. And it didn't seem like she necessarily had a firm understanding of how the process worked. And she definitely had some few unfortunate events happen and made things way more complicated for her than otherwise would have been if she didn't encounter a few unfortunate turns of events, but as the situation stood, it was just way too convoluted, and to keep my sanity and to keep the successful closed escrows coming in my mind, I just had to say thank you, but no thank you, and get off the phone with her and move on. Unfortunately, that's often the case, where we just have to look to our internal radar, our internal intuition, and just know that this is not the right situation for us. So guys, let me know what you think. Again, do you tell people no? I mean, some people talk about their closing ratio, and I would say if your closing ratio is 99% to 100%, then you're not taking enough chances with clients. But if you have a closing ratio below 85%, then you are definitely working with people that you should not be working with, and you need to raise your standards, and you need to raise the amount of conversations that you're having so you can pick and choose the best clients that are going to lead to more transactions, more success, more income, and more abundance in your life. All right, guys, if you want to talk to me personally and you want to see if we're a good fit for me to help you in your business, I'd love to talk to you. All my contact information is going to be in the description below. You can reach out to me. We can do a Zoom meeting to discuss if I'm a good fit to help you with your business. We can also do a free Zoom call where we'll reach out to clients. We'll do a cold calling session. I will get you up to speed with cold calling. I will give you pointers and tips to put you on the right path to cold calling success. So if you want to do that, go ahead and send me a text, give me a call, or send me an email, and I will be looking forward to talking to you. Until then, this is Ken Blumberg with Making Probate Easy. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.